Hi, my name is Kathleen, and this is my Project Creative Response video number 2. So first, I would like to talk about a definition of creativity that I didn't really know or didn't really stand out to me until this week. And constantly throughout this class, I am shown that creativity has a more complex definition than the one we were taught, or even the one that is written down in the dictionary. One aspect of creativity brought to my attention during this section was the concept of old problems with new solutions. I was always taught that if it's not broke, don't fix it. So seeing that reworking an old problem to come up with a more efficient solution is not only common, but it actually is a major aspect of creativity and how innovation happens throughout the world. It just really stood out to me. When discussing about the myths of creativity, one myth that really surprised me was when they were discussing the frame of research around creativity, how some very creativity intense activities and jobs were actually overlooked in research studies for more seemingly prestigious options. One example that particularly stood out to me was the cheerleader and ballerina dancer example. Um, this stood out the most to me because the dumb cheerleader myth is like one we constantly see portrayed in movies, and it's only like one in a million in real life, which is why this example really took me by surprise. Ballet dancers are usually looked at in a much higher respect than cheerleaders, and some are even looked at as like creative geniuses, and cheerleaders are often looked at as silly blonde girls in little skirts on the side of a football game. And they're seldomly given the same regards when in actuality they are just as creative as ballerinas, coming up with their choreographies and their cheers, when to do them, so on and so forth. And I just thought that was really interesting. Why is creativity important to all companies and nonprofits? Creativity is the root of innovation, so period, that. But one example of how creativity is vital to a business is that when there is a problem presented to people who have excellent creative minds and are constantly thinking in this way, they're going to receive many more unique solutions a lot faster than they would with people who don't really practice creative thinking and aren't given that opportunity and encouraged to think outside the box. Another example is when involved in a market where everything feels like it's already been done, like the clothing industry. Every style has been done 100 times. Styles rotate, they're coming back from the past. Every now and then, like a new cut or something might come out, but it's pretty much all been done. It's much easier to come up with a competitive edge that sets you apart from competition when using creative thinking, being able to come up with a color or a combination or something that makes you stand out from everybody selling practically the same thing. What are two common approaches to creative thinking? One common approach to creative thinking is to brainstorm, sitting down, writing everything down, recording it, however you want to do it, anything that comes to mind when the subject is discussed. It doesn't have to be necessarily something that fits exact solution for the problem with the item, but anything that you can think of that comes up around this could help you find the best option for you. And then at the end, reviewing for expansion, being able to see where you can take those items is really helpful in that process. The problem solving approach is another. When presented with an issue, there is usually a commonly used solution, but in this case, you want to continue coming up with solutions past the first one. Things that might be a little more complex, but end up working a little better, or things that are easier to do and better, more time efficient. Other options that could potentially work for the same problem. Solutions of plenty for one problem. A real world example of the creative change process. A great example of the creative change process can be seen in the market room for any business. They will ask a simple question like, how do we enhance our buyer's experience, or how can we increase our interactions with potential customers? And many creative minds will immediately get to work. An example of solutions one may come up with for how to enhance a buyer's experience for, say, let's say an appliance store. Perhaps the individual potential customer can fill out a short questionnaire online before that points the sales directions in the appliance they're looking for, the style they're looking for, the size they want it in. And then when they come into that store, they can get with that sales rep, and that sales rep can show them options they've already come up with and already analyzed that they feel will fit these buyers' needs the best. And then the buyers will feel that their experience has been customized for them, that that these options have really been well thought out for their situation. They'll feel special, they'll make a purchase, and that builds customer loyalty and really enhances their shopping experience to feel that all of their needs were taken into consideration. Well, that's my video response. Thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed watching.